Do you feel like the world is crumbling when you're set to speak to people in public? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Olabisi, and on this channel I basically talk about ways to improve your career, your business, digital, and of course lifestyle. So today I'm going to be talking about ways to overcome the fear of public speaking. Yes, so people will be like, oh, I've read books about it, I've done this, I've done that, but truth about it is people still do have fear, including me sometimes, of speaking in public. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing tips, and of course I look forward to your comments in the comment section down below. So let's get started. When it comes to public speaking, it's kind of like a bit dicey, depending on the kind of person that you are, and then it also depends on also the situation. Maybe it was something that you're not even prepared for, or something that they just called you to come and speak and things like that. Or it could be a situation where they've actually told you like weeks or months before, but you're just getting there, probably you're not expecting that number. Something like that could happen, and then you just get there, or you're just seeing some people that you just feel that they are just high up there, and you'll be like, what exactly do I want to talk about? And then you just feel like the ground should just open up practically and just swallow you. So I'm going to basically be sharing tips to be able to help us to overcome the fear of public speaking. I know that there's even a book on it, a lot of things have been said on it and things like that, but I think I'm going to basically just still talk about some of these things, and of course putting some of my personal experience too as well. So tip number one is practice. Yes, it's very important for you to be able to practice regularly. So some people might feel like, oh, I'm a very confident person, I can speak at the go and things like that. Thumbs up for you. But some of us, you have to like be prepared kind of like mentally. But I think like over the years, I've kind of like adjusted to probably impromptu speaking. I get a lot of that, probably just, oh, help me do this, or somebody just reach out to you, can you help me speak on this and things like that. And over the months, over the years, it really helped me. But when I literally started, when I was way back in school, I was really, really very shy. I'll be like, what do I want to talk about? Sometimes I feel like I don't know how to pronounce some words properly, and then or maybe they give you some names to mention and you just feel like, what kind of names are this one, how do I but I remember that one of my friends then was more like a senior colleague to me. One of the things he told me that if you don't practice, how do you then get to learn? So I started practicing by trying to volunteer. So I volunteer to anchor events, I volunteer to anchor things, even if it's a small meeting. What's the agenda and things like that, how can I come in and stuffs like that. And beyond that also, that was even one of the reasons why I actually started this YouTube channel. Like, I just basically wanted to improve on my speaking engagements. Like, I wanted to basically just practice, and of course on this channel I've been able to get a lot of feedback. People give me feedback a lot, oh, this, improve on this and that. So I've been able to kind of like practice. So you might not be to start a YouTube channel, yours might be, oh, I want to start probably a blog, or even if it means like, let me just start by recording myself speak and just listening to myself do feedback. Oh, you do this, you gesticulate a lot, you do the a lot, which a lot of us in this part, we do a lot. So you want to ensure that you're working on it as much as possible, but you won't be able to do this even if you read the books, you go on YouTube, you learn, you take online course and things like that. If you're not practicing, there is absolutely no way that you'll be able to hone the skill of public speaking. So that's my tip number one. Practice. So tip number two is try to attend networking events and programs. So I know that with pandemic that is happening, there's been like a real drop in terms of physical networking events, but there's still virtual speaking events, so, or networking events as well. So you want to set it like, oh, I want to attend a particular, it can be something in your field that you're currently working on, or it's something that is of interest for you, and it's something that you feel like, oh, I think I want to improve on it, things like that. So you can register for those webinars, those networking events via different video conferencing platform, and try as much as possible to be engaged. One of the tip is actually for you to turn on your video. Try to turn on your video. I know that there's some webinars that doesn't really allow you to talk. They put a lot of the audience on mute, so probably you can only ask questions like via the chat box and things like that. But there are also some that actually gives allowance for you to be able to talk, to actually ask questions and speak and things like that. So while we are hoping that pandemic will be all over and then we can go back to how life used to be, where we can go for physical events, you can also start practicing by also attending virtual networking events and things like that. So you get to meet people, especially the speakers. You can, even after the webinar, you can even go ahead, check them out on their LinkedIn and their social media platform and see how you can connect. So that way, what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to break the fear of public speaking as much as possible. Tip number 3 is for you to join Toastmasters. So Toastmasters is basically organizations that help you to be able to interact, to speak in public, majorly public speaking. So you might want to look at joining that of expertise basically. So it is another option for you. You might want to just join a Toastmaster because it gives room. They try as much as possible to push you to be able to earn the skill of public speaking. So you might want to consider that. Or another tip is for you to be able to volunteer to facilitate programs or events and things like that. So I mentioned earlier that even for myself, I had to make sure that I volunteered regularly, like when it means, maybe there's an event and things like that, I can volunteer to be the anchor person and things like that. What I'm basically doing is I'm trying to get better at my public speaking skills, because public speaking really involves a lot of interaction with people, not just you talking, not just the TEDx style all the time, but it also involves you checking out the body language of people. Are people bored? You can notice that some people are sleeping. How do you ensure that what you're saying can revive things? You can actually throw a question and people get to answer, or you just throw something fun and then it just gets people really excited and then they can pay their attention back to you, because sometimes you just notice that people are just pressing their phones. So you want their attention back on you or back on what is happening in front. It also requires a lot of technicalities and things like that. Of course, volunteering in an organization, volunteering to anchor, even if, yes, I know someone is saying, oh, there's no physical event right now, but the truth is there's still virtual events. Virtual events still need anchor persons, people to step in to coordinate things. You might not be the speaker, so yours might be just to ensure that people are observing certain rules of the webinars or things like that, read the profile of the speakers and things like that. So there are different things to actually do, even now that we don't have like physical programs and things like that. You want to look basically at virtual events, but see it as an opportunity for you to actually build that skill. So finally is fact that try to ensure that prior to the time that you're going to go to speak, whether physically or virtually, try to keep notes. Try to take out time to, whether it's just key things, so that in case you just forget what you're talking about, you can just look at your notes and you'll be on track. And of course, try to be as calm as possible. It's not a time for you to start arguing and things like that. Just try as much as possible to take a lot of breaths and try to be as calm as much as possible. So I really love to get feedback from you. How have you been able to overcome the fear of public speaking. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to create content at least once or twice a week, basically. So thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to like as well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.